Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is a quick tutorial on how to use the Tropic color film texture. To start off, there's quite a few different applications you can use with this pack. I think one of our favorite applications is using it for titles. It's a great little bumper to throw at the beginning or the end of the video, throw a directed by, throw a logo if you're working for a video with a client. So yeah, this video I'm going to put together here is just sort of a quick example. If you see over here, I've got the 8mm and 16mm. So the pack comes in two different kinds. So, and yeah, you can kind of see pretty quickly if you look. The 8mm has the sprocket hole pretty sizable on this side. And if you were to look at the same sort of color, let's see, I'll just drag like a 16mm red for an example. You can see that this one, the sprockets are much smaller. So depending on your project or what you're doing, you might be able to use one or the other. To start off, this is a clip, comes in a ProRes, so you can drag it right in. You don't need to render, it should play very smoothly. Yeah, say this is the opening title card, before the song or the video begins. So yeah, as you can see, I think, throwing it on just a color backdrop that's got some character and some flair just sort of, gives it a little elevation versus just being just on like a solid black background, Within just a few moments, you've got like a pretty cool stylized, background for essentially just like a title card. You could throw a director's logo here. This is sort of just a cool creative asset to add to your kit as an editor or filmmaker, to just have like a really cool, little bumper in the beginning. And say you do not like this sprocket hole. Say you're like, oh man, I really like this sort of pastel blue in the film grain, but this sprocket hole is not working. This is a quick little tip. If you actually go over here to effects controls, you can actually turn the scale to where it's not uniform scale. And if you open up the width, so we're working with width and height. If you take the width, you can actually stretch it out. I know what you're saying, this kind of looks all distorted, but give me a second. You can kind of see what I'm doing here. Just a little bit more. And then we'll take the height up. This just allows you to finesse the way you scale it, because sometimes without uniform scale, you might start to, I can show you real quick if you have uniform scale turned on. Sometimes when you scale, it just starts to scale kind of awkwardly where you start to lose a lot of your, so either works, honestly. Yeah, anyway, so with this checked off, you just have a little bit more control. Like say you just want to feel the black right on the rounded edges here. And then, yeah, just stretch it out a little bit. And voila, you've got a cool little title card. Another application you can use is essentially using our overlays as kind of like a creative way to just give your footage like a cool tint, or, look, I know a lot of you guys are probably going to color correct your images and finesse the dials. This is really just sort of like a creative stylized option. By no means am I saying that this is the de facto way to color an image, but yeah, if you shot on film or VHS, or you're just trying to give your film or footage a vibe, that maybe isn't just finessing the color wheels, I think this is a pretty cool way to just sort of dial in, just a cool look. So for instance, we'll start by dragging this teal and switch it to kind of go a couple ways. Let's try what the screen looks like. Yeah, I think overlay is kind of the vibe. And yeah, right off the jump, looks awful, right? But I think where the real fun part is just being able to finesse this opacity wheel, so you can see how just giving your footage just a slight tint kind of gives it like a cool little tone, and you might need to scale it up just a little bit. There you go. And there you go. Kind of just use this. And then as you can see here on your timeline, obviously your clip is much longer. It's pretty simple. I usually just lock this layer, and then you can literally just copy and paste. Or another quick little tip is if you hold the Alt or Option key, depending if you're in a PC or Windows, you can actually just drag it. And with snapping on, you can usually just drag, then you can kind of grab a couple more, drag, and there you go. You've kind of got this little color stylized our color film texture pack, kind of working just to give your footage like a stylized tint. So yeah, those are just 2 applications in which you can use this Tropic color pack. I'm sure there's many more. This is just ideally just another little thing you can add to your kit, your arsenal as an editor, just to kind of level up your edit. So yeah, hope you like this tutorial.